When this word was written by Ezekiel, in the time that it was written, it was intended for Israel, but now it has been intended for America concerning the end times, and you can get more information on how America is the harlot if you read Revelation 17 and 18. That's also how it will end. So, read that. Ezekiel 16. Again, the word of the Lord Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith Yahuwah unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother an Hittite. And as for thy nativity, in the day thou wast born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in the water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. Now when I passed by thee, and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thy nakedness. Yea, I swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee, saith the Lord Yahuwah. And thou becamest mine, and thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty. For it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon thee, saith the Lord Yahuwah. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedst the harlot because of thy renown, and pouredst out thy fornications on every one that passed by. His it was. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter, that thou hast slain my children, and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them? And in all time abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou wast naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe, woe unto thee, saith the Lord Yahuwah, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and hast made thee an high place in every street. Thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, and hast made thy beauty to be abhorred, and hast opened thy feet to every one that passeth by. And multiplied thy whoredoms, thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and has increased in thy whoredoms, to provoke me to anger. Behold, therefore I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughter of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. How weak is thine heart, saith the Lord Yahuwah, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious whorish woman, but as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hirest them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of Yah. Thus saith Yahuwah, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms, with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them, and I will judge thee, as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. And I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy, and I will also give thee into their hand, and they shall throw down thine eminent place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare. They shall also bring up a company against thee, and shall stone thee with stones, and thrust thine through with their swords. And they shall burn thine houses with fire, and execute judgments upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou also shalt give no hire any more. So I will make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, and I will be quiet, and will no more be angry, because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, but hast fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore I also will recompense thy way upon thine head, saith Yahuwah, and thou shalt not commit this lewdness above all thine abominations. Behold, every one that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, As is the mother, so is her daughter. Thou art thy mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband and her children. Thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loatheth their husbands and their children. Your mother was an Hittite, and your father an Amorite. And thine elder sister is Samaria, is Sodom. Her daughters, thou wast corrupted more than they in all thy ways. As I live, saith Yahuwah, Sodom thy sister hath not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done. Thou and thy daughters, behold, this was the iniquity of the sister Sodom, pride, fullness of bread and abundance of idleness was in her and her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy, and they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Neither has Samaria committed half of thy sins, but thou hast multiplied thine abominations more than they, and hast justified thy sisters in all thine abominations, which thou hast done. Thou also, which hast judged thy sisters, bear thine own shame for thy sins that thou hast committed, more abominable than they. They are more righteous than thou. Yea, be thou confounded also, and bear thy shame, in that thou hast justified thy sisters, when I shall bring her again their captivity. The captivity is Sodomites and their daughters, and the captivity of Samaria and her daughters. Then will I bring again the captivity of the captives in the midst of them, that thou mayest bear thine own shame, and mayest be confounded in all thou hast done, in that thou art a comfort unto them, when thy sister Sodom and her daughters shall return to their former estate, and Samaria and her daughters shall return to their former estate. Then thou and thy daughters shall return to your former estate. Thou hast borne thy lewdness and thine abomination, saith Yahuwah. For thus saith the Lord Yahuwah, I will even deal with thee as thou hast done, which has despised the oath in breaking the covenant. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with thee in the days of thy youth, and I will establish unto thee an everlasting covenant. Then thou shalt remember thy ways and be ashamed, when thou shalt receive thy sisters, thine elder and thy younger, and I will give them unto thee for daughters. Romans 1 is inserted because that's the covenant that Yahuwah has made with the people who are in his new covenant, his eternal covenant. It's through Christ Jesus' blood alone. It's not through an Israelite bloodline. It's not through a skin color. It's through Jesus Christ's sacrifice alone, and your will to be obedient to what he has done, to pick up your cross and carry it. That's the eternal covenant, an agreement between two people. He came and died for you. You walk in obedience to him. It's an agreement, and that's how it's supposed to stay. But not by thy covenant. And I will establish my covenant with thee, and thou shalt know that I am Yahuwah, that thou mayest remember and be confounded, and never open thy mouth any more because of thy shame, when I am pacified towards thee for all that thou hast done, saith Yahuwah.